Hello everybody, this is Jeff Manning with Team Reelin the Blues. Today's video is just about how to rig an anchor. It's pretty basic. There's a lot of different anchors on the market. I personally use a claw style. I've built this anchor. I've been making this anchor for about 20 years. Nothing's changed. There's a whole lot of anchors like this out on the market right now, so there's really not a whole lot special about it. You just tie your rope to the bottom, zip tie it to the top, and what that does, it makes it to where if you ever do get it hung up, you just give it a good yank, it'll break the zip tie, and then the anchor will come up upside down. Like I say, it's just a pretty basic design. There's a lot of different versions of it on the market, but here's how I rig it. What we have here is just a basic grapple hook style anchor. The way the anchor works is when you throw it out, you can see all these are bent on a little bit of an angle. When you drop it on the bottom, those tines will dig into the mud, and as you're pulling it, they will just dig deeper and deeper into the bottom. I've had them dig plumb up to right here in a real soft bottom. Hold really good in sand, rock, you name it, it'll dig in. Once it's dug in, it ain't coming loose. But the way people rig these, and they're all basically the same. I like this one where it lays flat on the bottom when you don't have it in the water. But the way people rig them, the real popular way is with a chain. They'll run the chain, they'll use just a standard D-ring. They'll hook it right here with that, and then zip tie it right here. I'm just gonna run it like this for now. And they'll zip tie it like this. And the way it works is, you run the zip tie through it, and if you ever get this thing, let's say, hung under a rock or hung under a log, what happens is you'll get above it, you're pulling it, it won't break loose, you get above it, when you pull your rope straight up, it pops it, and then the anchor comes up backwards. That way you don't lose the anchor. Like I say, with the chain, the whole purpose for it is just really to get the rope to lay flat, just so that it pulls straighter on this, and it's also just to add a little weight. Now you also see how loud it is, especially in an aluminum bottom boat. So here's what I do. I just tie directly to the bottom with just a rope. I got my zip tie here, so if it ever gets hung, you know, all you gotta do is just pull it right back out and pop it just like you normally do. So if it gets hung, pop it. Alright, but what I do versus using a chain is I tie a knot about 6 foot up from my anchor, and what this does, it serves a couple purposes. With this knot, it lets me know where the anchor is in the water, so when I'm pulling the anchor rope up the side of the boat, once I see the knot, I know the anchor's just below the surface, so then I can lean out a little further and pull it up without scraping the side of my boat. That's one purpose for the knot. The other purpose for it is when I want to add weight, or if I know I'm in really windy conditions and I want that rope to lay really flat on the bottom and really pull and dig good, what I came up with is with this. It's a simple idea. It's nothing more than just a steel ingot cut off of one of the anchors that I made. I just welded an eyelet on it. It was just an old eye I had. I take a standard D-ring, hook it on it, hook it just above my knot, and what this does, it adds the weight that your chain would add, but without all the extra noise. And I'm not getting any younger. What this does also is if I want to use a lighter anchor, I can use a lighter anchor and I can hang this on it when I need the extra weight to really get it to dig in. All my anchors pretty much have the same size. I just call it the basket. They're all about the same size. I just vary the size of this stem between this one, which is about 20 pounds. I've got one anchor that's about 8 pounds. I got one that's about 12 pounds. Then I got this beast right here that's about 30 pounds. Okay, this serves several purposes. Let's say you're in a really, really windy day, and every time the wind blows, it swings your boat. It'll pick this anchor up, this thing you put on here, and then when the wind quits blowing, it'll settle straight back down. That pulls your boat back straight again. But let's say it's really, really windy. You got 20, 30, 40 mile an hour winds, and you need a little bit more weight. I'm not getting any younger. I can only pull up so much weight all day long. So what you can do, I've got one of these that weighs about 25 pounds. So what I do when I'm using it, I tie a separate rope to this. So now I actually have two anchor ropes on the same line pulling. So what I can do is I can actually pull it, and I usually don't run it the full length. I'll take this rope here, I'll pull it out, say 30 feet, and I'll tie this anchor rope to this anchor rope about 30 foot up. What happens is then you're pulling your rope up. Once I get to where I have two ropes, I'll pull this up the rope like this. So I'm pulling this up the rope. I'm only having to lift this a little bit of weight. Once I get this to the top, I just take it off and throw it in the boat, and then I pull up my main anchor. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but if you're set up in a spot you're going to be there for an hour and a half to 2 hours, it's worth it. That way your boat is sitting steady, it's not moving. This works really, really well. Like I say, it's a little bit extra work, but it's worth it in the long run. And like I say, not getting any younger, it's nice not having to pull up all that extra weight. And with this, you only have to put it on there when you need it. When you don't need it, just take it off. Stow this away. And then just use this. 99.9% of the time, this is all I use. I don't use a chain. I don't use this extra weight. I hope you learned something and got something out of this video you can use. If so, please subscribe, ring that bell up in the corner, and that way you'll be notified when I put any more videos on there. I appreciate you watching. I really do. Thank you.